Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Here we are at the beginning of NGS Season 7, opening day, Monday. We have the Division D East round 1 match between Church of Murky and Painfully Average. So Church of Murky is a returning team from last year, I believe. Might have been actually a season before. I can't remember if they skipped. I know they played in Heroes Lounge. And I think they played last season in D. We're kind of at the bottom of the standings, but looking for a little bit of redemption this season. A lot of the teams moved up, so it shouldn't really be... they should have a better chance this season, I believe. Especially being together, playing together usually allows you to grow as a team and become better. So, and Painfully Average is a brand new team here to the scene. Going to get ourselves all sorted out here. Can't quite remember who needs to be where. Let's go. If I can find it. Looks like we're going to have... I think all of these guys go time. Okay, yes. We have all of Church of Murky. They are here and ready. Dude, and the gully. This, by the way, is going to be our map pool. So this season is 10 maps, 2 bans per team. We got a ban on Tomb of the Spider Queen, a ban on Towers of Doom from Painfully Average, as well as a ban on Dragonshire and Battlefield of Eternity by Church of Murky. It was Church of Murky that took first pick on this side, so they'll be the ones. They will be getting first pick, and the first map we will be going to, which was chosen by Painfully Average, will be Skya. So we're still missing Bobby and this. Okay. So, looks like I'm gonna have to... Alrighty. That. Gold. Alrighty. Oops. That one was the one I was looking for. Maybe that's okay, so it is number 2. I don't have 3 bound yet. Which I think I was gonna do the NGS opener for that. So we're all good to go on this side. Season start hype, absolutely. Nice to see Ryokai and Miss Windup Bird there in the chat. Waiting for everybody to get in. I really don't know what to expect out of either one of these teams. Church or Murky, I unfortunately did not get to see much of their games in the past, and so it'll be interesting to see what they come with today. And Painfully Average is a brand new team. And we don't really have any statistics to fully go off of. Okay. So we're going to be starting in now. Alrighty, guys. Hype. First match of the season. Well, there's another one going on simultaneously at the same time on DB Smiley's channel. But obviously, you all want to be here, hang out with me, and catch this awesome start to the D East season with Church of Murky's first ban on Volskaya Foundry. Oh. I'll switch that over. Caught it just in time. Lily is the first ban. Nice spicy way to start off the Div D East season right there with a Lily ban. Not sure what kind of scouting has managed to have happened here in this matchup. I caught it last second. Woot. Varian is going to be banned, as they're trying to think of why you would ban a Lily. Well, the major threat that she poses to players, not not the healing threat that she brings about, but 2 players really is blinds. So trying to mitigate some of those heroes that could be adversely affected by Lily blinds. We get a Diva is the next ban, and these are very spicy, interesting bans, not typically considered top meta, but if you have some sort of insight on the enemy team, or you just like to meme, or you have a specific comp in mind that these 2 heroes tend to cause problems for, they're going to remove them right away. And Painfully Average is removing Sylvanas. That's actually a pretty meta ban, I'd say. It removes the camp threat that she possesses. It's not her ability to take camps that's good, which it is, very good. It's with Mercenary Queen level 4, you get a 60% buff to those turrets, and that can just be absolutely terrifying to deal with in comps. Plus, she shuts down the enemy team's turrets in team fights, which, if well weaved in, can be a pretty big, bonus. You have a turret, they have a turret, yours is 60% more powerful. You already have an advantage. Add on top of the fact you can negate the other one, you get double the advantage. So Sylvanas a great ban. Orphea is going to be the first pickup. Lots of fight on the point, where a lot of good areas to either get value of at Eternity of Feast or more my personal favorite, which is the Big Chomp one, which I can't for some reason in this moment remember what the hell it's called. But it's a big stun lock, AoE, nice area. If you're all clumped up on the objective, it can be a real problem. And really, to be spicy here, we're starting off with Mal'Ganis Brightwing. Brightwing brings some global capabilities, so I guess you can just side soak a bit before you have to pop in on the shrines, and those little tiny bits of experience can probably add up for you. And Mal'Ganis, you know, anywhere there's forced areas where people have to fight is the best place for Mal'Ganis to get any of his CC value. So we're going to see an interesting pickup there with those two heroes. On the other side, Church of Murky take up a very standard Garrosh and Raynor. Garrosh does not have a very high win rate in NGS from last season. This season might be the season to turn that around. And they're going to pick up Raynor there to give nice long-range sustained damage where they can poke. So Garrosh is going to prevent things like Mal'Ganis from getting into the backline, while Orphea and Raynor are going to do their best to pepper down and destroy the composition of Painfully Average in that instance. We're going to get a Whitemane ban. Whitemane isn't really considered a top-tier healer, but I have seen a lot of the advantages she can have in long, sustained team fights. As long as she's got room to move, it isn't getting CC'd or dove, she can be a pretty powerful pick here. Nazebo. Not my favorite Nazebo map, but there is one thing about Nazebo here. You can double soak for minions. And with the changes to the Protector, it's quite often this game goes past 20, where you can get a pretty much guaranteed you're going to hit that final tier and get those stacks. So I can kind of see the argument for taking it. Lots of zoning capabilities. This wave clear is garbage, but it does definitely add up to a good late game teamfight hero. We're going to get Imperius and Cassia. Now, this is kind of where it's starting out to be pretty interesting. Cassia struggles a bit into Garrosh as she has to close range into him to be able to do damage, which makes her a threat for her to be thrown. But her blinds are actually quite good into both Raynor and somewhat into Orphea too as well, as all of Orphea's self-sustain and some of her extra sustained damage comes from her weaving in those auto attacks that are buffed. So she definitely has that aspect of her character, and that makes Cassie a bit of a threat. But now Cassie has to kind of move into both Garrosh and Arthas, and that's going to be a bit of a problem there. Imperius is going to have a good time on the front line for the most part. He's not too terribly afraid of Garrosh. Obviously, getting thrown into towers is not a good thing in any situation, but Imperius doesn't really mind getting thrown into the back line. He can do an okay job back there. So for him, that's all right. I'm going to get Ragnaros to top this all off. Malfurion for the heals. And I don't know, guys, tell me what you think in draft. I believe Church of Murky definitely has a much more standard draft. A lot more, normal heroes, as you will, in NGS. At least the combination, therefore. And on the other side, we don't have all of that. So it's a very interesting setup. Oops. I am much too slow at this. So instead of worrying about it this time, I'll try to get it in the draft next time, as that was what was messing me up. On the blue side, we have Church of Murky. Shock on the Garrosh, B Gully on the Malfurion, the Dude playing Orphea, Redbeard playing Arthas, and Orion on the Rainer. On the other side, we have Hufflepuffin on the Cassia, Gingermancer on the Ragnaros, Willios. It's just Willows. Willows on the Mal'Ganis, Lord Gold playing Imperius, and Desmurd on the Brightwing. See what's going on here in OBS. There we go. There's your talent picks for you guys. So we can see Painfully Average is running a 1-3-1. Church of Murky is doing a 3-man rotation. Rainer starting nice and early onto that turret camp. All by him lonesome, just jabbing away at it with a stick on the end of his gun. And we're sitting pretty even experience. We are going to see a slight bump on the side of Church of Murky due to that turret capture. We'll see Gingermancer was trading here with Arthas, and it looked like it went mostly in Arthas' favor, and he actually taps where Gingermancer did not. So, but we're going to see a bit of an engagement here coming into the mid lane. We have a bunch of pressure coming onto Shock, but they're just going to walk away. Orpheus going to make the quick rotation to the top lane, clear up that wave. We're going to see a response rotation from Willows. Looks like Cassia, Desmurd, and the other two are looking to see if they can pick this Arthas, but he walks away. Cassia's going to pick up the mid wave. He's definitely doesn't want to get thrown by the Garrosh there into 4 of their team members. But as all 3 lanes are being soaked by Painfully Average, they do have a slight experience lead. They are now starting on their camp here, easily cleared up by Imperius and Brightwing. Another 4-man rotation into the top lane. And yeah, now we're about sitting on the same amount of turrets. You're gonna see Willows and Lord Gold go over here and start their siege camp. No one has even looked at the support camp here. We'll have our first objective appearing in 10 seconds. Wave being pushed in by Ragnaros is going to get cleaned up by the towers, and there's no one in range to soak, so that's going to be another little bit of experience boost. Plus that and the camp being pushed in the top lane. I'd say the setup here is somewhat in favor of Painfully Average, but the initial channel is definitely going to go to the side of Church of Murky. You can see Willow's here trying to pressure the Arthas, get a little bit in there. Shock trying to get some of his health back. Blinds go down, but we see a nice root combo onto Imperius, and he's going to go down here. Willows getting a nice 2-man sleep. They're going to put the pressure onto Shock, but Shock's going to throw Hufflepuff right in behind, and Cassie now in a pretty bad spot. Willows going in, trying to dive and stop the major damage. That was a really good kind of heal kind of combo there from the Brightwing, making sure that Willows is the one that got the big heal boost, as it was Cassia that managed to disengage from the fight after Imperius went down, and Cassia was in big trouble. So, but she was able to get away. Now the turret's down. That's going to be Willows being thrown in. He doesn't have the support of his team, and he just gets hucked in there and dies. So that's going to be the second kill for Church of Murky. Things going from bad to worse for Painfully Average here in this particular contest. Let's take a look at the statistics that we have here up on the map. That's going to be a first protector. Top lane got some damage done, but we do see the experience did even out with those 2 kills, and no one else was soaking at the time. We're still pre-level 7. Not a common experience for me to have here on Volskaya that the protector's taken before level 7's even gained by either team. We have Arthas already split into the bottom lane, making sure that he's getting all of that extra bit of soak there, and now we see Painfully Average somewhat falling behind here in this particular since the end of the last objective in both experience and a bit in kills. So it looks like Church of Murky is going to be doing their best to pressure the top lane. Going to see a tower probably go down, disengaged by Imperius, but looks like Church of Murky is a little bit weary about the amount of damage that they've taken on the Protectors. They're just going to walk out. We're going to see a nice throw in with a combo stun from Shock, and that is going to convert into a kill. That's going to be a dead Cassia. The teleport did not come in from Brightwing nearly quick enough to actually manage to get the kills. And we have level 7 talents here on both sides you can take a look at. We're going to see the support camp now finally contested by Church of Murky. Willows goes in, gets a 4-man sleep, which is completely interrupted by Lord of Gold, which is actually going to put him in a really terrible spot. Arthas is going to cut off his retreat. That's going to be dead Mal'Ganis. Had to say, Lord of Gold probably killed Mal'Ganis there by unsleeping the sleep targets. There was no follow-up damage. We had split target players here getting camps. Now, they did manage to steal both sides of the camp. So while they did get this camp and a kill, they did lose 2 turrets. And that's actually a pretty good play. I can't believe I didn't realize that was happening at the time when it was. I was a little more entranced by the Mal'Ganis going in. So, I don't know. Hashtag worth? Question mark? You could probably make the argument it was. But then you'd look at the experience and go, it might not be that great. So next Protector should be coming in and up in about a minute, I would say, is probably what we have remainder. Well, it's looking to interrupt rotation, but really only manages to find a Garrosh, and he gets himself out of dodge nice and fast then and there. Throw in onto Lord of Gold with a major taunt. They do have 10s. Here comes the Crushing Jaws. That's going to put a lot of pressure onto it. Syndra goes to follow-up, looking for those extra kills. Hyperion manages to secure the last kill onto Cassia, but that's not going to be the end of it. We're going to see Mal'Ganis fall. The rest are going to retreat. And that's going to be your free fort for Church of Murky prior to the next objective. So it should be spawning in a minute. I was almost accurate. It should be spawning in about 30 seconds here. Soon. Oh man, I did not do my math properly. There it was. See, I was close. I was close. So 30 seconds to spawn time. We're going to see a little bit of pressure here coming down from the bottom. Geomancer is going to get flipped over and destroyed. A Garrosh getting tons of value for Church of Murky here in this game. Cassie trying to get her soak. We're going to see soak also happening up here in the top lane by Painfully Average. Looks like Desmerge just waiting for this camp to pop up. I assume he is bribing. Why they were able to get the turret the last time. Though with those kills before, I think they lost most of their turret economy and they're back to 1. Nope, they do have 2, so that's a bit of a saving grace. And this is a pre-13 contest, so we're going to see if Painfully Average can redeem themselves and put some pressure here in this next team fight. Not get isolated by Garrosh throw that ends in a quick kill. Turret is immediately dropped, but there's no threat onto it. Now they're going to have to fight out from underneath it. There goes the throw into Lord of Gold. He does pop a shield. He is probably going to survive through a good portion of it, but the Tonka does come down, so does the Crushing Jaws. It lands on 3 targets. Sindragosa is now popped, and it looks like Painfully Average is starting to hurt from this fight here. Lord of Gold still doing his best to pressure Garrosh, and actually did not a bad job, but now he's in a bit of a bad spot. Arthas does go down. Lord of Gold trying to stay alive, but he dies to the throw. We got a nice sleep coming in, and a great Dark Conversion coming from Willows there. It's going to turn this fight somewhat on its head here. We did get a 1-for-1 trade. Things are still somewhat even, but that 1 kill is going to help Painfully Average get back into this game. But now we got a little bit of a problem here. Nope, there goes the Ragnaros ult. And that's going to be enough to chase off Church of Murky here. And I think they're just going to give the remainder of this objective. No, they are coming back in for a counterattack. Meanwhile, we have... Oh, two are going down. Willows and both Desmerd and Willows both get completely annihilated in there by that flip taunt. Great roots. So it was looking to be in their advantage, but they didn't back off of it. 13 did hit for Church of Murky. $13 now just hitting for Painfully Average. It's going to be a support camp for Church of Murky and the objective. And with the 10 kill advantage, they are plus 10 on the match. They're going to look to see if they can further enhance that advantage into some more structure damage, as this is mostly what protectors do these days. The team fights are right, but it's not nearly as good as it used to be. Your siege potential is fantastic, as they can soak a lot of damage, and they do keep your squishies pretty safe. The team fight from it isn't that great, but a great taunt onto Imperius is definitely going to leave him standing in a bad situation, and that's going to be a quick kill by Church of Murky, continuing to extend their lead to plus 11 in kills. Slight pushback on Cassia. And that's going to be a second fort down for the side of Church of Murky. We're going to see a full rotation coming out from Painfully Average to see if they can poke this down a little bit further. They don't want to lose their well before the next objective. They do manage to save it. And the engagement comes in and is a root, double root onto Gingermancer. Willow's getting a lot of pressure onto himself. I don't know about you, but I haven't seen a lava wave, and this has just been kind of par for the course so far in this game. Cassie getting flipped over the shoulder, rooted, stunned, and destroyed. She does have really good anti-physical damage, but only when she's moving, so if she's getting thrown, taunted, rooted, and stunned, she's not going to have really any chance to get that armor against physical damage, and we are plus 12 now on kills. Sindragosa is going to come in to see if they can put some pressure in. We're going to get the lava wave as well to add some damage and clear up the wave and defend it. Ragnaros is now in a very bad spot. He's now in between three heroes, and he's going to get collapsed upon, rooted, stunned, and just generally annihilated. But they are still under a fort, and it is Malfurion taking a lot of those shots. It is now retargeted onto Arthas. They have put a lot of pressure onto the fort. It hasn't managed to drop yet. Painfully Average doing their absolute best here to soak all the lanes so that they can get that level 16 fight here on the bot objective. But that's the third fort going down on the side of Painfully Average, and they are definitely on the ropes at this point. So we see another heal camp looking to be taken by Church of Murky. They have a commanding lead, and 16 was just achieved by Painfully Average. We still probably have another minute on the objective. We're going to see all the camps being taken as frequently as possible. I didn't really notice this, but we had another bribe grab that turret camp. So Painfully Average still trying to find those little tiny advantages anywhere they can. Cassia was not on a mount. I mean, if Garrosh just went right at her there, that might have been trouble, but he did not have any follow-up damage, so they probably felt it wasn't worth it. As they are quickly clearing up this top lane, looking to pressure this out so that it's constantly pushing during the next big objective fight. We have 2 in the bot lane, 3 in the mid lane. They seem to be somewhat trying to slow down rotations, but they didn't manage to hit the dude with anything. Willows is going to dodge the root. But the first initial channel looks like, oh, it was contested at the last second by Painfully Average. No one likes to fight on these conveyor belts. Absolute worst team fight area. So you have the middle area, which is mostly an advantage as you can move freely without getting tossed around everywhere. And we see initial throw stun happening to Cassia. She manages to survive. We're going to see Willow's doing his best. He's probably going to pop off a Dark Conversion, but he dies before it can take effect. And that's going to be the first kill going to Church of Murky. We see Sintragosa being dropped. Gingermancer finally getting the kill onto the Malfurion. Orphea also went down. So it's actually 3 for 3. Brightwing being pressured. Lord of Gold probably about to get thrown. Both Brightwing and Cassia are just in a terrible spot. Root coming in. Stun goes down. Blink Heal comes in to keep him alive, but Lord of Gold is just getting poked apart. That's going to be another kill for Church of Murky. They are plus 14 at this moment. 17 kills to 3. And Rainer's just putting on the pressure, zoning them out. Garrosh is just making sure that they don't even dare step up. We have a 73, 76, 70, 80% channel. And it's quickly going to be another Protector. So that was a better fight for Painfully Average. It definitely wasn't as one-sided as a lot of the other fights have looked. They did manage to trade 2 for 2 in the initial areas of the fight. But then it kind of got a little hairy there in their positioning and kind of what was left. Church of Murky making sure they're coming at this full strength. They're going to do a full level 20 push here of the spot lane. Minute left on the Protector. And it looks like a pretty successful defense. 20 is actually picked up by Painfully Average here. They did manage to pick off the Garrosh. And this is kind of what I've been talking about. You get into these late game team fights, and the Protector just doesn't seem to scale up well enough. And so those counter fights kind of come in, especially with the Ragnar's protecting the health of the keep. With the follow-up engage after the fact. They are a bit split apart here, though, but we do see a nice teleport coming in from Brightwing to keep Willows up and alive. Meanwhile, Cassie's going to take the mid fort and continue to try to catch up in the experience. Of course, we are now level 20, and that greed might cost them a little bit, as they are going to be able to pick off an Imperious. So that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade ultimately. And we're still plus 14. So as you can see, we did not make it to end game in the third Protector, which used to be a lot of what happened in the previous versions of this. You could still technically end with it, but it's so much harder to do in the late game. And quite often, just regular level 20 siege with a kill advantage might actually be more effective in some cases than grabbing the Protector. Gonna see one turret, a heal camp. Brightwing's gonna pop in, grab that turret. So we're gonna see 2 turrets, 2 turret, and heal camp by the time we get the next objective. Of course, those are very short respawn timers on the camps. So we might even see them go for another one. They do lose top well on the side of Church of Murky, and we can kind of see them bleed a little bit here, as they did lose the mid fort. Bottom fort's really low. Top fort just lost the well, and the experience is really evened out. So we're level 21 to level 21. They might have a 22 advantage for a short period of time in a fight, but that 2% generally isn't going to make the biggest difference in late game team fights. So it all comes down to, is the formula going to continue to work as it had so far? Using that Garrosh. Yeah, they cut off Gingermancer. He's in big trouble now. No way he's getting out of this, and his team just leaves him. That's not what you want to happen. Lava Wave does come in, and that's a dead Garrosh. He will probably spawn in time for the objective. But probably just barely, and that's going to give map control back to the side of Painfully Average. In fact, the objective is going to actually be active before Garrosh can make it up, and Ragnaros can make it up. So looks like Church of Murky is going to do their best to press their advantage that they do have in numbers at this moment, and push in here with this wave onto the mid fort. See if they can snag a tower. Let's have to take a look at our damage numbers here. Orphea doing tons of work in this game. Really good on the follow-up damage. Fantastic on the wave clear. Generally doing a really good job. She's even soaking a lot of damage. Ragnaros is now free. He is out of the spawn point. So fight incoming here. Cinder Ghost is being cast basically onto Willows. He's taking a lot. He does get a dark conversion onto Orphea. Orphea is in trouble. We do see the flip actually happen onto Cassia, and that was an immediate deletion. Shock though, in big trouble here, and that's actually looking like a turn fight. Lord Gold manages to pick off two, and then Willow's putting a lot of pressure on the Arthas. That's going to be a 3-for-1 trade. Cassia did die early, but the rest of the fight did not go in favor of Church of Murky, and we're starting to see this game start to turn around. This late game level 20 composition, there's no way that they're going to be able to have the timer up. Basically, Church of Murky has lost this objective, flat out. We're going to see Brightwing quickly grab another turret. Painfully Average doing their best to side soak, get as much of that out of the way as possible. And now you can see it is a 13 kill difference. It's a plus 13 for the side of Church of Murky, but because of this late game team fight loss, they're going to lose the objective. And that might convert this into a lost game. We'll have to see. They definitely have the advantages going in their favor here at this point. The waves are very effectively pushed out. We're probably just going to march this in mid. But it actually looks like Painfully Average is just like, no, we need to even up the structures here. So we're actually going to go for the top fort. Hyperion's going to come down and put a little bit extra pressure onto the Protector. It's at less than 80% health at this point. 70% health now. They do have a camp. So they're really trying to prep themselves for the second point B. But then they abandon that plan and look like they're going to try to push down mid. But mid's going to be a little bit hard to push down, given the fact that this thing only has 50% health left. Lava Wave is going to help clear this out. And that is definitely going to help them put pressure into it. But end of the game, not happening. This is definitely going to be going into another Protector unless a monster amount of kills happen for the side of Painfully Average. And instead, it's going to be two taken out. And yet again, another Protector assault and another lost team fight. And there's no way Cassie's getting out of this. And it looks like just the two frontliners, the two non-squishiest teams members of their team, were in the Protector, are going to get out, but it might not happen. There goes a good sleep. Willows might be able to get out of here, but no. He got slowed down, and that's going to be a fourth kill. And with that, I think Church of Murky's had enough. They're just going to see if they can siege, just flat siege this down. Shock's gonna be taking an absolute ton of damage here. Malfurion has no one to heal off of. Shock's gonna have to walk out. There goes the turret. Why wasn't the turret dropped earlier? It automatically adjusts his attack to it. Okay, well, there we go. We are gonna see Ragnaros and Brightwing up, but are they gonna be in time? And it looks like we're gonna see Church of Murky win our first match game of the night. And that's going to be Volskaya going to Church of Murky. Well done, boys. And there's your statistics there for you. I mean, the kills were definitely in favor of Church of Murky all the game. It only started looking hairy at the last objective where they lost that team fight. But they managed to get the counter kills on the mid forts or keep siege. And they were able to chase down the kills for another 2 after the fact. And that's more or less what turned this game into the victory that it managed to be. Well done, Church of Murky. I'll let you guys look at the talents that were chosen. Pretty standard. Everything you see from COM right there. Painfully average. Going to see if they can come back in game number 2. And while I wait, I'm going to get in touch with the... All right, while I wait to find out what map we'll be going to, I will pop you over Alrighty. Here we are, folks. Game number 2. What we'd like to see. We will be going Sky Temple. This was picked by Church of Murky, as Painfully Average opted for first pick after the loss. Looking for the equalizer on that map. So, that was a spicy first game. Pretty back and forth at certain times, mostly in favor of Church of Murky, coming out strong in the first match of the season for that 2-0 domination victory for those 2 points. Indicate to the lobby that I am ready when they are. I think I got it. I think I have this correct now. And here we go. Hello, Fox, and everyone here. I'm glad to see so many people in the chat, making it a nice, comfy, homely place to be. Good turnout for the first cast of the season. I am pretty excited. COM trying to bait the new guys. Into some bans, and it's not going to happen. Garrosh was identified as the major threat in the last game, and I can see for good reason. Garrosh definitely punished positioning pretty damn hard, and they got a ton. Brightwing being banned out. So both teams reacting. Caledorn, that is not true. That was last season. New season. Slate is wiped clean. Sylvanas being banned again. Now, it's everyone on Nexus Edge believed, except for Arthanau and Mongoose. And Mongoose is just a guest, and Arthanau, who cares? Everyone else voted for CCS. So we're going to see a double healer ban. Desmond being targeted here a bit with the Lily and the Brightwing. So we'll have to see what he brings out. And Lord Gold is going to go right for the Dahaka. The dude picking up the Orphea yet again. I don't have to change anything. Greymane by Orion. So new auto attacker, bit of a different style here. Greymane is a bit of a different beast overall. Overall, I think he's a harder hero to play. But he does bring certain things to the table that Raynor does not quite. So interesting pickup. It was a good DPS call last time. And Anduin going to be picked up by Desmond. And here's the first real top tier support that I see being picked up. And it is going to be Diva from Hufflepuff. And so perhaps Church of Murky knows a heck of a lot more about Painfully Average than I do. As Diva is definitely being picked up here. And that's going to be a Jaina ban, trying to reduce the damages. That's pretty much what's left here. So we're going to get a double bruiser frontline with Diva and Dahaka. We might see another tank, as we did have a double bruiser tank run in the last matchup too as well, in the last game. It's interesting. But it was Jaina banned. And Varian banned again. Trying to keep Redbeard probably. Or whoever's playing the offlane. I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, kind of keep Redbeard off that Varian. Might even be Shock. Maybe it's Taunt Varian. Either way, whatever it is a threat. Shock's going to pick up a Nubarak, who's made it all the way through to the next round of bans. The goalie's going to take the white name. And no, I never said that Malfurion is not top tier. I just said it's one of the top tiers. I forgot the Malf was taken in the last game, so maybe I did say that inadvertently. My bad. Malfurion is definitely still top tier. We see Ragnaros and Chromie picked up, so it's that triple bruiser frontline. Anduin, Chromie. Playing fast and loose with the rolls here, and Redbeard's going to pick up the Tyrael. Definitely taking those very specific, generally like Tyrael or Arthas for offlaners in specific situations that they amplify. And in this particular situation, Tyrael is definitely here to amplify Greymane's potential as a diving tool. I think it's a good draft. I mean, there's a lot of squishy body on the side, but Diva could be played very well. Dahaka Global could be used very well. Like, there's definitely some elements of this draft that are quite good. Dahaka is good on this map, generally speaking. So they're going to have that global advantage from the start. Yeah, no, like, don't get me wrong. Malfurion is my highest played healer. Period. I'm actually, well, I like Anduin, and I think I'm okay at him. But Malfurion is kind of the big healer for me. Yeah, I just got affiliate Celadorn, so save those biddies for me. For some reason, the contract thing wasn't popping up, and I wasn't able to actually do the thing. But I do have something for you guys. We're going to start on the red side. Let's do this now. All right. So on the red side, we have Willows on Chromie, Hufflepuffin on the Diva, Gingermancer playing Ragnaros, Desmerd on the Anduin, and Lord Gold playing Dahaka. Church of Murky looking for the 2-0 domination. Shock on Nubarak, the dude on the Orphea yet again. Orion playing Greyman, B-Gully on the White Mane, and Tyrael by Redbeard. Yeah, just save those biddies for me. Trust me. I want subs. I want all those things. I just got to get the affiliate forms filled out and I'm good to go. Next stream. And if I can get to 75 consecutive watchers sometime this season, I might be able to make it to partner status. That would be fucking awesome. Yes, I did swear. I don't care. We're going to see a bit of a different lane arrangement. Dahaka's going to start bottom, but it kind of makes sense. They do have three good, decent bruisers. They can all kind of cover lanes, and Dahaka will have that ability to be able to burrow up. They do give up camp control in the bottom lane, and we're going to see Church of Murky do their best to kind of amplify that, as both major damage dealers for the side of Painfully Average are in the top lane. So first camp going to be picked up by Church of Murky, but they're not going to push it in. They're not leaving anyone in the bot lane, so this is probably just going to get easy cleared by the Dahaka. Let's bring up the talents. Oh, overlay. I got it. It is working. All right. I like this 30-second delay. So much better than the minute. I have a lot more time to figure out what's going on and remember to look. And that's going to be 2 early camps picked by Church of Murky, but this is really the one they're going to put the pressure in. So they pulled some resources down into the bot lane with the Chromium, but now Chromie's not in a position to defend this. So Gingermancer is going to flat just use his Ragnaros ultimate right here and now to try to deal with this camp pressure. And that's going to be full front wall for Church of Murky, and all structure damage on this map is flat out your lifeline. It basically can all be tied back to core health in a manner speaking. So that front wall, especially if they channel this top shrine, is going to be intense. We already have a dig from Dahaka too, really early. He does get the drag onto Redbeard, and Redbeard does take an absolute massive amount of damage, but he's just going to be able to nope out. But we can see Painfully Average realizes that the pressure on the top lane was pretty rough for them, so they're just going to go ahead and 5-man this top lane and secure it. Dahaka's going to rotate into the center to grab this vision. And we're now going to see Willows, Lord Gold, and Gingermancer poke in here on this. While Greymane soaks the bottom lane and Tyrael pokes out at the top lane. But I'm pretty sure we're going to see a pretty even trade here. Tyrael really probably trying to pressure Hufflepuff in here on this fight. Dahaka's grabbing a camp. Greymane's pushing out the mid lane. And again, just trying to add as much siege. And he's just getting away with this. There's not any pressure being applied to him. Chromie now making the rotation in to see if he can put a little bit of pressure onto him, but he just walks out of the way. Orphea dives in under the fort and is now going to start taking fort shots. She's dead. First blood is now going to Painfully Average, but mid-keep is gone. So you could maybe argue Worth, but they are going to lose top lane. I don't think Gingermaster, anyway, he doesn't get this, although he's probably going to int for it. As we do get Shock, getting the rotation up on him. Gonna be double stun. If he juked down this way a little earlier, he might have been okay. But that's 3 heroes on him. No safety. Anduin is not in range to get the pull. Oh, yes, he has. He does live. He does get out, and that is an absolute fantastic save. I did not, but that's hilarious. A dick from Dahaka. I like it. It's not a tongue, guys. It's just a dick. Hey, I'm here for all the meme bits. If you clip that shit where I said the dick from Dahaka, do it, please. You can see a bit of pressure coming in from Painfully Average, and with that 1-kill lead, they're going to clear up this thing pretty easily. We're even in structures for the most part. Low Gold taking some nice poke damage from Greymane. Dive coming in on to Chromie, but Chromie drops the stun, and now it's Orion that's taking a good amount of damage, but Whitemane easily heals that up. I'm pretty sure I said dig, but yeah. So, bottom channel in favor of Painfully Average here in this instance. Lord Gold taking a lot of pressure, and with that stun, he's probably going to go down. He does actually dive in, does be able to heal up, and he does get pulled back from Anduin, and that is going to keep him alive. No level 10s for either team on this point. About half, just under half of the shrine was channeled by Painfully Average. They're probably going to want to see if they can get back in here, but that's a lot of dive. And we can see right now, Painfully Average is just doing their best to get soak elsewhere in other lanes. They might even be coming over here for a sneaky little camp. So definitely more pressure applied in the bot lane. There was more channeled. Chalk just eats a full combo from Chromie and laughs it off because it's a new brag. Hufflepuff and stepping back. They realize that the dive is coming in. There goes the cocoon onto Anduin. Bunny Hop trying to slow down the dive from coming in. Chromie is able to get back out, but Anduin is definitely on an island. He pops the protected and stays alive just a little bit longer. Here comes the dig from Dahaka, and they managed to get the return kills on both Tyrael and Greymane. So despite losing Anduin, that's a 3-for-1 trade and a huge advantage for Painfully Average. Meanwhile, in the top lane with the stolen camp, Gingermancer is just going ham on the wall. Painfully Average coming back in this game. Now, I don't think he retreated in time, and there's no way he's going to peel off of that. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see a dead Ragnaros. But I don't know. Almost hashtag worth. He got the top wall and damage onto the keep. And again, keep damage is lifelines here. But at the same time, objective is going to be firing at forts. So I would like to see Painfully Average look for some kills. But really, they have to rely on Church of Murky to go in on them because they don't have a lot of great engage tools. Willos is not in the best position here. He's actually going to get a dove. Lucky him, he doesn't actually get stunned by the Anubrak there. So it looks like they're just going to bail out of this bot lane and go immediately for the top shrine and camp. Really just continuing to amplify this top lane pressure. It is a big map. Leveraging that isn't such a bad idea, and we're going to see the lava wave come through and do about half the health, almost. So Nubrak was left on the shrine to finish channeling it out. We are going to see a rotation coming in from Church of Murky, but it's scouted by the Chromie. But that is all forts down for Painfully Average, while one still is remaining for Church of Murky.
The magic of the temple sleeps. Till I choose otherwise.
We have Diva Bomb. Oh, wow. This boss is pretty much ready to go, and it looks like they're going to be able to channel it through. The boss was not spotted by either me or Painfully Average in time. We're going to see the Judgment come in onto Ragnaros, but it looks like it's going to be Tyrael dropping here. He doesn't actually go down. And until now. Now he's dead. So that's going to be a 1-for-0. This boss is going to start pushing in onto this keep, so they're going to have to retreat back here and defend it. But amusingly, they almost get this top keep with that camp that they got way back when the objective spawned. So I gotta say, this is pretty even. Yeah, I like it. Thanks for the clip, Caladari. You the man. If I say anything else or do anything else meme-worthy on this channel, please feel free. I am not afraid of the memes. We're going to see an invasion coming in from Church of Murky. They're going to try to put as much pressure onto this to be able to get the shrine. They do actually manage to get the camp and a kill. And maybe 2 kills. Gingermancer looking pretty rough here. Yeah, it looks like he's going to go down. And I don't know if Anduin's going to get out of this either. He does manage to pop the protect. Maybe if he did that a tad bit earlier, but there's so much CC on this comp. And that's just the worst time to lose 2 heroes. So Church of Murky reestablishing dominance back in this game with those 2 kills. And that's going to mean they're going to be able to channel the bot shrine. Diva and Tyrael look like they're going to fight out over the top one. Dahaka just doing his best to get this, get his essence back up. He might dig into the top lane. Not entirely certain, but we're starting to see the rest of the rotation from Church of Murky onto this top shrine. Things aren't looking great for the side of Painfully Average, and Hufflepuff actually does not manage to drop the bomb, and instead is going to die, and that is a painful spot to lose that next hero. So that's a full channel in the mid lane. It's going to be another full channel in the top lane. Things going from bad to worse for Painful Average. They do seem to catch Shock outside, but it is Chromie who's out of position instead and gets dove upon. No time for Anduin to get that cleanse in place, and Gingermancer just barely gets pulled out, but Go for the Throat was popped at the same time, so he tracks nice and easy onto it. Does not make him unstoppable. And I think Church of Murky is just going to use that advantage right then and there to see if they can push this in for the core. Now, they're just going to make sure that they secure the mid keep, which I think is the right call. Top keep will not go down from the shrine, but it will take damage. And I think with this camp, things are looking very bad for Painfully Average. Anduin gets a root. Hufflepuff in, drops the bomb, gets stunned, gets double stunned, does manage to get back into it. The bomb does manage to do some damage to the camp. Do you see have a lava wave clearing out the minions behind, so they do manage to save this keep. And that's good for them, because they only have one keep down. That's completely defensible. But they really got to win up the next shrine. At least the next one is only a single point. And a single point contestation is going to be in favor of Painfully Average. Because that is where they can actually start re-establishing some control back into this game if they win a good team fight off of it. I mean, we are getting into late game, and top keep is really low. And if that lane stays pretty well pushed out, it could always be a major threat. But we are going to see this camp actually being held by Church of Murky. Boss is up in 23 seconds. So, is Painfully Average going to go for the Hail Mary play instead and look for that boss? So the siege coming in, 5 men in the bot lane. Well, let's not say men. 5 heroes in the bot lane. Putting in pressure, trying to see if they can get this fort down, because if they can, that'll help even out kind of the structure score that we currently have here. We're going to see the initial channel is going to go in favor of Church of Murky. And it doesn't look like Painfully Average gives a damn. They're just going to go right for that boss. Interesting play. Do we have Holy Ground? Because if we do, that's a tough spot for Painfully Average. And this is a huge point. The boss is not taken, but that's going to be a team wipe. And this is just going to be a march to the core for the side of Church of Murky. 5-man team wipe. No protected status because it's a cocoon. And they'll just walk into the core. That will be our second game, folks. And there you have it. I still think it was a pretty good back and forth game. But just like the first game, Church of Murky had a pretty clear advantage going through most of that. So I'm going to message one of the guys here. I'll pop up the talent screen for you as well. Let me get back in touch with Redbeard. Let's see if we get that interview.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
Congratulations on your first win of the season. How does it feel to start off the season nice and strong?
Feels pretty good.
So, did you guys have any insight on what Painfully Average tends to play? Do you know them at all, or was this kind of a blind match for you guys?
We got some information that they like to play, Brightwing and Lily, so that was a couple of the bands that we were doing. And we also knew that they played Diva and Ragnaros a lot, but we haven't played them before, so this is our first time playing them.
Okay, but you guys did definitely some scouting. So kind of coming into this matchup, did you feel confident going up against Painfully Average?
We really weren't 100% sure what to expect because we haven't played them before, and it seems like they've had a lot of success with the Diva. But it seems like their healer pool is a little bit weaker, so we kind of figured we'd try and target that and hope for the best.
That seemed to have paid off for you. Game number 1 was pretty good overall. You guys had a pretty massive lead in the kill count and of obviously the first 2 objectives. It only kind of got a little bit hairy in the last part of there. When it comes down to the sieges of the protectors, were you feeling confident that you guys could take that fight and turn things kind of into your favor as you kind of ended up doing? Or were you freaking out in comms at that point?
Yeah, I think going in we were a little confident, especially when we picked up the objective bottom. We kind of figured we could at least take the keep, if not possibly win the game. But the defense with the Ragnaros and the Cassia, they really burned down the protector pretty quickly, and I think we were a little surprised. They also picked off Garage, so it kind of put us in a bad spot, and we kind of had to wind up walking away. But luckily, we got another chance to come back.
So game number 2 was your guys' map pick, and I could see that you somewhat emphasized the boss control. Basically when you guys realized that they were going for boss, was that just kind of like a cha-ching moment? Like, oh yeah, we got holy ground, we got friggin' crushing jaws. This shit is over.
We were pretty confident going in. We knew, between holy ground and judgment and crushing jaws, we thought we could definitely interrupt them, if not steal it. So we were definitely willing to fight on it.
Yeah, and Sky Temple, the way you guys played the maps and the camps and everything else, looked like you have some decent experience on it. Looks like a map you enjoy playing. I assume that's an accurate statement?
Yeah, especially recently, we've been playing a lot more on Sky Temple, even though it's, wasn't in the map pool, I think, recently.
No, it's always been in the map pool, just no one plays it.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
no one bans it, no one plays it. They just Sky Temple's a what thing.
Yeah. We didn't
it.
like to. I don't think we used to like playing it until we kind of hit our stride and figured out a little bit of a strategy behind it.
Yeah. Well, it looked really good. You guys started off the season nice and strong. How many seasons have you guys played of NGS so far?
We played season 5, but we took season 6 off. So this is our second time playing.
That's what I thought. I was like, I know I saw you guys in season 5 and then in Heroes Lounge quickly following that. And then you guys took...
we played one season of Heroes Lounge too.
Oh, which one do you like better? I mean, it's got to be NGS, right?
Yeah, I think we prefer NGS. It's a little, I don't know. It's a little bit more familiar for us too. And especially like Heroes Lounge, I don't think like they're... I don't know. I felt like some of the teams were a lot of the matches we played were very one-sided.
Yeah, not a lot of balance. So
which I think I've heard they've gotten better at. But,
for sure.
We played the first season. We
don't need to grill them. They're offering an amateur scene for people to play in, an alternative to NGS. There's nothing wrong with that. So if you like the format, go for it. But yeah. I've always been kind of a little bit in favor of kind of the way the NGS has kind of done it so far. In your guys' division, looking at all the teams from what you know, how confident are you guys going forward?
I think we feel pretty good. I know we've played against Zul'jin Distillery a lot, and I know they did really well last season. So, we usually tend to do okay against them. So, I think we're pretty confident we'll be, somewhat towards the top.
Well, that's fantastic, and I hope that you guys back that up, and I'll keep an eye on you for this season. Hopefully, I can get some future casts for you guys.
Oh yeah, well, thanks again for casting us.
It's my pleasure. I play as well, so I have to be able to fit some of these casting things around my schedule. But when I can, I'm gonna get it. And generally, East teams are gonna have a better shot with me because earlier in the evening is generally a lot easier for me to cast. So you should be looking good. Anyways, do you have any shout outs before we go?
No, just, thanks to my team for showing up, and, we look forward to playing in NGS, and, see how things go.
Fantastic. Thanks for showing up, Redbeard. I appreciate it. Congratulations on the win.
All right. Thanks again for casting us.
Problem.
All right.
That's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you for watching. Definitely go over to one of the other streams that are popping up. I think Arcane Arboretum should be starting up here in about 40 minutes. And then right after that, Arrow of the Storm, I think at 9 o'clock. I I think both of those are going to be B West matches. Both of them in my division. So I got to choose one, pick one to watch, and then I probably have to watch the VOD of the other one. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, thanks for showing up. I will hopefully have... Please follow, like, whatever the case is. Following is the best thing you can do for me right now. I will get my affiliate status set up so that you guys can hand me money if you're really feeling generous. Anyways, thanks for showing up, guys. We'll catch you on the next stream, which I will be doing on Wednesday, Thursday? One of those 2 days. It'll be posted in NGS. Otherwise, have a good night, guys.